The topic of discussion for the second segment is hypertension. Who is at risk? In the studio today with us, we have Marietta, Dr. Marietta, and she is a general health practitioner. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
So before we go into discussion fully, we'll need to take a quick video about hypertension. Please stay tuned.
Beautiful fall evening. The sun is setting. The dog finally stopped barking. Life is good. But inside, there's trouble brewing, and Emma has no idea. Although she feels fine, like her father, Emma is one of the 67 million adults with high blood pressure or hypertension. Just like her radiator that's on the fritz, Emma's heart is working overtime to get the job done. Let's have a look. The heart is the pump in our bodies, delivering blood to the entire system through a set of pipes, or blood vessels of all sizes. Smoking, high cholesterol, diabetes, obesity, physical inactivity, family history, and increased age all contribute to these blood vessels, or our pipes, becoming less elastic. The more blood our heart has to pump through stiff, narrowing arteries, the higher our blood pressure. When the force of the blood against our artery walls is too high, life-threatening health problems can result. Problems like kidney disease, heart disease, stroke, even heart attack. Can Emma get her pressure down before it's too late?
Hypertension, also known as high blood pressure. Wow. Now, judging by that video, it is quite something, should I say, to be scared of, or to be for you to watch out for.
Yes.
Now, Dr. Marietta, since in some people, in a lot of populace, it does not really present with symptoms. I mean, you have the condition and you don't really know you have it because you don't tend to come down with headaches or anything. How do you actually know it?
Okay, so most of the time, we don't get to see people just come in and say, I feel this way and I feel that way, hence I think I have hypertension. It's usually like incidental findings. So you see a patient, maybe you are taking the blood pressure, because it's now something we do routine in hospitals, and then you find out that this person's blood pressure is actually elevated. And that's why we are now going towards the preventive approach. We go out to communities and encourage people to check their blood pressure regularly, and then also encourage people, especially above the age of 40, to be more like proactive when it comes to things like this, because we know that they are at risk. However, there are some cases where you have people come in and tell you that they actually have bad headaches. Yes, especially older people, and that they just feel not good. They can't really explain it, but they know that they don't feel well. And for such people, sometimes you check and you find out that blood pressure is very high. So sometimes people feel it, but that's when it's really, really bad. And then some other people just come straight with the complications. They never knew that they had it, and they come with stroke.
So we have a caller, Deji from Egbeda. Hello, Deji.
Hello, good morning, Modupe.
Good morning.
Good morning, Cheryl. How are you girls doing today?
We're good.
Thank
you.
Yes, please. I have this issue. Sometimes, and this is not because of excitement or fear, but my heart just keeps racing, like it beats very fast, and sometimes it slows down. Do you think this may be as a result of hypertension, or am I prone to hypertension?
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay. So your heart racing very fast.
Yes.
We call it palpitation. So usually, like, you just feel inside of you that your heart is beating. For many people, which should be normal, you don't know that your heart is beating, but it's there. But some other people feel it like really hard. So I would encourage you, Deji, to go to the nearest hospital where you can get your blood pressure checked. It might not really be that you have hypertension, but it's just good that you check and then see a healthcare provider. They will be able to examine him like fully and then advise on what to do. But for now, I would say that you should just ensure that you increase your exercise, work on your diet, just to make sure that you're on the safe side.
He said he has palpitations, not necessarily out of excitement. And now you're telling him to increase his exercise.
Size.
What if it looks like his heart is going to jump out of his mouth?
Okay, so exercise is not really the same thing as stress. Now, stress has a way of making you be in a state of fear. Unlike exercise has a way of relaxing you. So we encourage people to do moderate to vigorous exercise depending on their age. Now, when you exercise, there are some chemicals we call endorphins that are like secreted. They make you just feel happy
Good,
and
yes.
relaxed.
Yes.
And this happens especially when you do it regularly. Like maybe you take 30 minutes of every day, or maybe 4 to 5 days in a week, which we prescribe. And this would help the person feel better. So it's not really the same thing as just running from a lion.
Okay. We have Grace.
Hello?
From Akwa Ibom. Hello, Grace.
Yes, good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning.
Fine, thank you.
Okay, so I've been listening in from Akwa Ibom State. My name is Grace,
Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
and I have a question.
Please go ahead.
Okay, thank you. What is the youngest age in which a person should start getting worried about having hypertension? And is hypertension the same thing as high blood pressure, or is there a connection between the two?
Thank you for
Thank
calling.
you, Grace.
Thank you very much. I'll be listening.
All right.
Okay, so high blood pressure and hypertension, we use them interchangeably.
Okay.
However, medically, we don't just see a person with high blood pressure today and label the person to have hypertension.
Oh,
Yes, we would not just check it today, but we would like give a time frame between the time we checked it now and another time when we feel maybe the person is a bit more rested. Usually we'll give at least 4 hours.
Pause.
But most of the time, because we know here, like we can't have the person just waiting somewhere, we tell the person to come back the next day if it's not so bad. And when the person comes back the next day and we check again and realize that it's still above the normal, then we start to encourage lifestyle modifications.
Okay.
Well, the
That's what
age,
age, yes.
yeah. For that, the thing is, most people that are at risk are usually above the age of 40 years.
Are you
But
sure?
the thing is, I don't think you should start worrying. You should wait till 40 before you start worrying, because by then, whatever
Things
damage
might
was
have-
to happen
yeah.
would have happened. So we encourage people right from like a young age that they should just be proactive. Just try to pay more attention to what you eat. Because we notice that as we Nigerians and
Yes.
like Africans generally are tending to adopt lifestyles that were not ours in the past, we are beginning to see hypertension in younger age groups.
Yes.
So we have people of 30, sometimes 28,
20, yes.
having hypertension. And another thing is, if you already have a family history, like if your father or mother or any sibling of yours, especially first degree relatives,
Okay.
have hypertension, then you should be more worried.
so it increases your
Wow.
chances.
Yes,
chances.
it does. It does.
All right.
Okay. We have another caller. Amaka from Ogun State. Hello, Amaka.
Hello.
Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning to your coffee.
Good morning.
I want to ask though, can a 20-something-year-old person have hypertension? Is a 20-something-year-old also, can a 20-something-year-old also be prone to hypertension?
All right.
All right, thank you
Is
very
it something
much.
one should be scared of before you're 30, or is it just for old people?
Okay. Thank
Okay.
you, Amaka.
Thank you.
Okay, like I said previously,
Yeah.
it's more in old people. But now young people are beginning to have it.
Have it.
Because of
And,
lifestyle change.
You know, I hear
Yes.
people saying, "What are you thinking of?"
We have fries almost every evening. Like, really, why wouldn't we have? So it's beginning to happen in 20-something-year-olds, and it's something that, yes, we should look out for. And as I said before, if there is anybody in your family,
That has it.
especially immediate family, that has it, then you should be more careful. And
Okay.
then there are some other diseases that young people may have that may make them prone to having hypertension. For
Okay.
example, if the person has kidney disease, the person is more prone to having hypertension at a very young age. And then if the person has maybe diabetes, because there's a kind of diabetes you find in young people, the person has a higher chance and things like that.
Okay, so we have a couple of comments and questions on Facebook.
Yeah.
From Eye Gorkan Daniel is saying he's watching. We see you.
Thank you.
And from Godtime David, she says, talking about high blood pressure, what triggers high blood pressure?
Okay. Now, as we watched in the video earlier, high blood pressure happens when your arteries, which are normally elastic, become a bit more rigid. So imagine a pipe that usually allows things to just flow in a relaxed way. It no longer expands the way it used to. So what you have is more pressure on the walls of the vessels. But your heart will keep working, like it will not stop because your arteries are becoming stronger. So it just makes your heart do more work. Yeah. And what causes the arteries to be that rigid? That's when you now have things like with age, and you have things like diseases, those ones I called before, and then increased cholesterol or fat diet, or when you don't do much, you just sit down like all day. That's what we call physical inactivity.
Yeah.
So those things tend to make the arteries more rigid and could lead to that.
So you mentioned while you were explaining that eat. I particularly just took the verb eat. So what are the foods that can actually help, to relieve? I don't know if there are no symptoms. What are the foods that can help you treat hypertension or manage it? And what are the ones that you have to stay away from?
Okay. Well, when people have hypertension, usually we advise them, okay, change your lifestyle. And part of the things we advise is to eat better. Now, eating better usually revolves around a diet we call the DASH diet.
Okay.
So the DASH diet is like a dietary approach to stop hypertension. That's what that means.
Okay.
Now, this diet encourages you to remove a lot of saturated fats. Yes. Those things that somehow you and I know what is bad, but we just keep eating them because they are easy. So it's just for us to find a way to balance these things, go more to vegetables and fruits, especially fruits high in potassium. So like bananas are fine. Good fruit like avocado is also very fine. So we could go towards all these things instead of eating maybe rice and moi moi and all those many things. Like you could eat maybe rice and avocado. I've seen like people make that combination, or rice and bananas. You can do that and still be full. Okay. So these are ways we can just change the way we eat. Yeah.
So still talking about foods and hypertension. Let's see a quick video about that and we will be back. We hope that you've been able to get all the necessary information from our expert in the house and from that video and all the videos that we've shown you. Hypertension. One last question. Who is at risk? Very short.
Okay, so black people.
Oh.
Yeah. Old people. People who are obese or overweight.
Okay.
Yeah. And then usually people who have those other diseases like kidney diseases, people that have diabetes, and people that have high cholesterol levels. Yes, these are all people that are at risk.
Thank you.
And then, lastly, people who binge on alcohol. So it would do you like a lot of good if you reduce your alcohol intake and maybe even cease smoking. Those things would help generally.
Thank you. Thank you
Thank
very
you so
much.
much.
It's been a very wonderful episode of Wellness Wednesday here on Tea or Coffee.
Like what you just saw, click the notification bell and remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more amazing programs.